Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
Pretty good. We were in New Mexico shooting, and I walked in and pulled that off the rack.
There he goes.
And
It's like
it
classic.
fit you perfectly.
It's giving me very Chris Christopherson in A Star Is Born.
When you buy things used, sometimes there's things in pockets.
I'm surprised. Wait.
Oh,
I
some
have
gum.
dentine gum.
Oh, some gum. Nice.
Yeah,
and an ink pen.
Yeah, and an ink pen. Oh my gosh,
That,
this is amazing.
I think that was his ink pen. Oh, is there?
Oh,
Wait.
there were matches?
A Band-Aid?
There was Band-Aids?
So, thanks to the old man who likely died so that you could have his jacket.
Why are we assuming he's old? He doesn't have to be
He
old.
had Band-Aids in his inner pocket of his jacket.
Like people don't have Band-Aids. I don't associate Band-Aids with being old. Okay? You know who uses Band-Aids? Little kids on their little skinned knees.
Yeah,
when
grandpas,
they fall off their bikes.
They don't carry them around in their coat. Grandpas do. We've been playing the New York Times games. My niece, she's in the band Hussy Fit, and
Hussy
that
Fit.
was the hats we
We
were
wore
wearing
the
last
hats,
week.
yes. And
someone
we had a few people.
someone commented on it, and they said, Hussy hats, instant follow.
Boom. Okay,
I found out that she was looking at how long it took us to answer the mini crossword.
The mini crossword.
And I'm like, oh.
Okay, so
I didn't know it was a competition.
It became a competition. Yeah.
But there was this one freaking thing last night we could not figure out. It was called Tushes.
Tushes was the clue.
It was Heinies.
Heinies. If you don't know connections is like all of these random words. There are like 4 rows, and you have to figure out what the connection is between 4 of the words.
Cowboy hat, glasses, leather coat, necklace.
Yes.
And that would be like all things John Russell Kring is wearing.
Yeah. For example, one might say water and George. Okay. So that's 2 of them. And then the answer would be boy. Water boy, boy George. Mm-hmm. There you go. So that would be like an example of a connection. Yeah.
It could be anything. Homophones.
Right.
It could be anything.
And some of them are like so weird and very, very, very frustrating.
Well, there was like a skit that this comedian did
on Dropout TV.
On Dropout TV, this comedian was like, connections is like the most frustrating,
drives her out of her mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't leave a puzzle furious.
Right. Yes. It
It's
shouldn't
like that.
It shouldn't break up your marriage, the
right.
connections.
No, you told me. You get like 3 or 4 guesses on connections, and you said to me
yes
that I am not a good connections partner.
I didn't say that. I said be a better connections partner.
You're like, I get overconfident.
You get overconfident and start submitting, and then it's like, oh
wrong.
No, that's wrong. Okay, and then we get down to like we have 1 left, and we have to get 3 of the rows.
I'm just confident.
And no, do not be confident. Not unless you know. Don't just randomly just stick it in whatever hole possible.
You did not want to go networking last night.
No, I did not. Well, I had gone networking the night before. I went to New Jersey and, met some very nice people. There were like 15 people sitting around a table.
It was less filmy.
It was very less filmy. There were like a lot of different kinds of people. Oh, I'm a photographer. It was a creative group. And last night I was like all ready to settle in. I was all good. And then Tracy was like, what about this networking thing? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Well,
I'm not doing that.
It was odd because the networking, the notification, like, hey, we're starting in 2 hours, came to my phone.
Right. And then it said they had RSVP'd 500 people.
Right. And I was like,
oh, I have to do this.
Do you think 500 people are actually going to be there? And you were like, no, there's no way.
No.
There's usually like 30 to 50 people.
Yeah, exactly.
But I said, I don't know, because there's like 70 or 80
who have said they're going.
Said they're interested.
Right. So I went and yeah, man, there were just people.
Piles and piles of people.
Piles of people. It was like New Year's Eve in Times Square.
Right.
Where you were just kind of like, hello, looking to the left, to the right, whatever. And then you turned and then you spoke to somebody else. Then you turned around and spoke to somebody else. I mean, it was, and it was interesting. It was a lot of young filmmakers. There were a few times where I was like, okay, I need to be an encouragement to this. There was one kid who, kid who's probably like 20 or something like that. And you could tell that he had like, some developmental issues. And he, and I just, I talked to him about like, you've got a lot to say. You've got a set of experiences that you could do some amazing things, and and I talked to him about just finding people who are his fans and that are his support and, not feeling like he has to try to do everything himself. And he actually kind of started to tear up, which made me feel very uncomfortable. But, I'm like, okay.
He felt seen and heard.
He did. I talked to him about that.
You brought home a big bundle of library DVDs.
Well, okay, at the library, they have the new DVD section.
And we've seen all these.
I found a movie, The Mauritanian.
We were working with a director and they were doing interviews that I was shooting. I met the woman that is the lead character.
Nancy Hollander.
Yeah, she was very cool.
She is a lawyer that defends people that have been accused of terrorism.
Well, and she might be in business in the current climate because they're calling people terrorists now again.
It was interesting to watch the movie because it was dealing with Guantanamo Bay and things like that. And all I could think of is like, oh, you mean like the places that we send our immigrants now? The possible American citizens where we want to send them to the Sudan.
They're being held with no charges.
Exactly. And like the world's worst hellhole prisons or alligator Alcatraz that they were going to build in Florida and ended up like tearing down because it flooded. I mean, so much crazy shit.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I think they wouldn't call it like Gator Gitmo.
Yeah.
Because Guantanamo still has a negative connotation, whereas Alcatraz has become cute through movies.
When you watch
like The Rock.
When you watch The Mauritanian, you do not get a good feeling about Gitmo.
The movie is quite slow.
It's very slow. And then when it hits what happened to you in Gitmo?
When he actually has to tell that story.
Whoa. The whole point is to drive him insane.
Yeah. Well, and at that point, it's like any confessions or anything don't even count because you've driven the guy
and everybody
insane.
Knows about the waterboarding. Everybody knows about the
the
loud heavy metal music. Everybody knows about the cold.
Kitty. That's what I want to talk about.
Miss Kitty was a new wrinkle in the Guantanamo story.
Well, and this man who was held has written a book.
Right.
Which you can read, and much of it was redacted.
And he seems incredibly charming. When you see him at the end, he seems like such a sweet man.
Got a lot of joy in him.
He does.
And like, it's just
I don't think I could have
that
that kind of joy after what he went through.
I would just be like, I would be a terrorist.
It would turn you into a terrorist. By the way, never charged. Never did anything.
No, they could prove.
He just knew people.
He did have some. I mean, it was weird. It was a weird setup because, it was not convenient.
His cousin was like friends with Bin Laden.
His cousin called him from Bin Laden's sat phone.
Yeah.
That looked pretty bad.
That was I mean, it's not like they didn't have cause to suspect this guy, but he didn't do anything.
He did go.
He was guilty literally by association.
Well, he did go train with Al-Qaeda for 2 months.
Well,
I mean,
yes, that
there's some
happened
weird
too.
things, but also all of these things are normal in their context.
Right,
In
in
our
their
context
world.
of calling them a terrorist organization, they're not okay.
But back to Miss Kitty. She wore a cat mask.
After watching the Mauritanian, the people who are really, really sadistically going after this man to get for a confession,
Right.
all of their torture occurred with animal masks on.
Yes.
And there was like a kitty and
You
a
mean like
gorilla.
Mar-a-Lago?
Right after I watched the Mauritanian, I see the TikTok of people dancing and stuff at Mar-a-Lago.
Wearing dog masks.
Very The Shining.
Wearing Victorian garb.
And I'm like,
Don't you think, okay, if you're like one of the super rich, all right, and you're like, okay, honey, you ready? And then let's put on our dog masks. You look in the mirror, do you think, this is fucked up? Why are we doing something so fucked up right now?
Sidebar. It's snowing at a pretty decent clip now.
Yes.
So that means that I'm going to be able to watch The Shining.
That's true. This is a watch The Shining day.
Okay.
Yes.
So the people that were like staying at the Overlook Hotel, going to these like lavish parties, obviously in the 20s and 30s, must have had money. Okay.
Yes.
So, and then they're like in the furry costume and stuff. And there's something weird that happens to people when they make enough money that maybe normal concerns of people are eliminated for them.
I think they also get bored with what we would consider to be fun. So
it was like, ooh, let's go shopping. It's boring.
Exactly. Things turn towards the depraved in that instance.
And that makes you wonder if that kind of excess is healthy for people.
Well, absolute power corrupts absolutely. That corruption also becomes a corruption of your soul.
The spirit.
Yeah.
The mind.
Right. So anyway, back to Kitty.
So I'm like, okay. So Miss Kitty comes in, and for these men who are in Gitmo, they're for the most part,
they're devout.
Very devout.
They're devout Muslims.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so in order to humiliate
sexual
and disturb
humiliation
them,
is what they call it.
Sexual humiliation. Yeah. And Miss Kitty raped him.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. And at that point, he's having a hard time knowing
what's
what's reality.
Almost feels like that's why Miss Kitty is
there
at Gitmo. And we know she's a soldier. We have seen her in uniform.
No, she's a soldier. I have no proof that this is a thing that happens. But, if this is happening,
right,
the government is raping Miss Kitty and then raping him.
That's true. That's straight up.
Because
that's absolutely true.
She would not be able to have consent in this situation.
And she had one scene where she was like, please confess. I don't want to have to keep doing this. Spoiler alert, he got his pardon and then Obama kept him in there for another 7 years. So thanks, Obama.
These people who might be picked up as domestic terrorists, that is an extraordinarily serious charge.
Oh, actually. God, yes. Oh, absolutely.
And it is something that follows you and has its own consequence that once set in motion is in motion.
While we were watching the Mauritanian, there were previews before the movie.
Right. And I saw this one and it had a ton of people in it. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what was that movie? We have to go back and get the DVD to
and
play
like Bradley
the preview
Whitford
again.
was in it, and Demi Moore was in it, and a few other people that we knew.
Songbird.
Right. So we found it on one of the streamers.
Who directed it?
Michael Bay.
Oh, shit.
Michael Bay.
Wait, you told me what its Rotten Tomato was. It was like a 6.
Oh yeah, it was like a 6%.
It's like single digits.
It was really bad.
And
yeah, it was
I
really
just want to make.
It was a COVID movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, you could tell it was shot partially during COVID. It was based on COVID, kind of like if COVID kept going and
things just got
killed
worse,
like 100 million people on Earth, what would happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cities were kind of emptied out, and there was a lot of DoorDash. If Michael Bay can get a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, like anybody can, and I would say, I don't know if any of my films have that low a score. He's Michael Bay.
Yes.
He spent a lot of money.
He did.
He has a lot of people behind him.
Yes.
And he still made an abject flop and failure.
Here's the problem with it, okay? The thing about Michael Bay, and people give him shit about, the action and the way that he shoots and that type of thing. To me, it's the melodrama of these stories is so thick. That one actor, he was like the villain. He was the one that's like, I can't think of his name, but he's like the Russian guy. And he's the villain from John Wick.
It's Peter Stormare.
He doesn't look like a Peter Stormare.
No, he doesn't.
Is he from America?
What does that matter? What, you want to deport him?
No. To get Mo. Where's Miss Kitty?
What the hell?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't care.
I'm saying he has this very kind of Eastern European thing about him. Or is he like an American who can just do so many different kinds of accents? Like, where is Peter Stormare from?
Well, Peter Stormare was born in Sweden.
There you go. That explained it.
His parents are very Swedish.
Okay.
Gunhild and Carl Ingvar Storm?
I guarantee you he was not born Peter then. I think that he changed
Pieter
that.
Or something.
Yeah, Pietro Stormare.
Well, but their last name is Storm. I mean, I think you had a pretty good shot at being
that's
cool
a cool
dude.
name. Do you like him as the devil in Constantine?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's a good, I mean, he's not the ultimate devil.
Well, I think,
which is in the prophecy.
well, Vigo is
is
incredible in
the
that.
ultimate devil.
I always find it interesting who in films they choose to play Satan because they get to really go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, Satan is always a much more interesting character than the hero.
It's like in my little book of it's like in my little book of biblical figures. Where Satan was the coolest one.
Yes. Yeah, well, there was a drawing of Satan and you were like, who's that? And your mom was like, ah! You've got Robert De Niro in Angel Heart. Spoiler alert.
Always the hottest one.
Yeah, absolutely. Al Pacino, Devil's Advocate.
I don't find him hot, but Louis Cypher is way better.
I can't believe I didn't realize with his name Louis Cypher, even your name is a dime store joke. That was my Mickey Rourke.
How did we not see that coming?
I know. We didn't see it coming.
We were just innocent little babes.
Angel Heart.
When Angel Heart came out.
Angel Heart is
I love Angel Heart.
Oh, it's amazing.
And Lisa Bonet is one of the most perfect, beautiful women that's ever walked the planet.
That movie has such incredible production design. And the music,
it's so like
and the
dirty,
vibe
and
of that movie.
It's like the screen of your television steams up when you watch that movie.
It is such a beautiful, dark masterpiece until literally
Southern Gothic.
The last shot of the movie where they have the devil baby and with the eyes, and the eyes look so stupid. They look so stupid. It's like
that usually
happens.
Like
they put animated eyes inside or something.
Okay, so
it's so bad.
Whenever you get to a thing and it's like, oh wow, that looks like absolute trash, but it's a good movie. Why don't they go back and fix it?
Just go back and fix it. Just do a George Lucas and
you know how
change it the way
they colorize like It's a Wonderful Life. They colorized it.
Yeah.
Once they knew how to do that, they would go back and do that.
I don't think there's enough motivation. There's not enough Angel Heart aficionados. We watched a movie called Bone Lake. It was a horror movie, and I had heard that it was going to be kind of a sexy horror movie. And it had been received real well. And in the first 2 minutes, somebody got shot through the scrotum with an arrow. And it was like a really tight close-up of a scrotum.
And you said, wow, that man got shot through the scrotum. Tracy, hold on. You got to look at this.
That's right, because she wasn't looking. And she looked up, and we went back, and I showed it to her. And what was your reaction to that, babe?
I mean, it looked like a pretty average scrotum getting shot through with an arrow.
It did. That's the promise of something pretty special.
And whenever you really want to do something that's like the most brutal thing you could possibly do, they fuck with dude's junk.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's the most fucked up thing we could possibly do?
Shoot him in the dick. It reminded me very much of like an erotic thriller.
What's the like thriller erotica version of Hallmark? Would that be old school Cinemax? Would that be like
that would be Cinemax. Yeah.
Okay.
Skinemax. Yeah.
So it's like a cheap Cinemax movie then.
Yeah, there was that one we saw where it was like she was trying to like mess up the family. And so she ended up having sex with everybody in the family.
Oh, wait, that has like Shannon Tweed.
Yeah,
in
it's like Scandal or Scorn or it's named something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the whole hand that rocks the cradle.
Yeah,
thing.
but then it's like, oh, you know how I'll get you? I'll give you orgasms. Yeah, you know, that's the ultimate I can do.
So one funny thing that did happen in the movie, the boring couple.
Yes.
He's going to propose to her and the sexy couple come in and
he tells the sexy guy, oh, I'm going to propose this weekend. Yes.
So next thing we know, the sexy guy's proposing to his sexy girlfriend with boring dude's ring.
I mean, it's like his grandmother's wedding ring. And
I'm like,
he takes it and gives it to sexy girl.
Damn.
And then has to try to explain, I'll get it back. You know, and he like,
I'm trying to save our relationship.
Crazy excuse. And it was, you could really feel for him. Like, what would you do in that situation? It was so messed up.
This episode is kind of turning into like a feminist manifesto here because I have another issue.
Good. I'm glad it's turning into a feminist manifesto. We need that, man.
Mr. Tyler Sheridan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate watch Landman. It's the only show I've ever started to just hate watch.
I agree. I like it. Now, they've totally deballed Billy Bob.
I'm okay with that.
No.
The Billy Bob parts of it are by far the best parts of Landman.
Look, Billy Bob's a great actor.
He's a great actor. He can do anything.
I'm
just
so over so many of these situations. And really, Billy Bob's screen time is getting eaten away by his dad character.
Now we got Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Because, like, okay, love Billy Bob, but I'd watch Sam Elliott just sit there and breathe.
Which is kind of what he ends up doing.
Which is what all he's doing.
Or floating around with a bikini clad.
God. Oh, God.
Massage therapist.
The way that they use women's bodies in that show is really annoying.
But that's fine. Okay. And
oh, is it?
No, her character doesn't really bother me as much.
They're trying to give her a little depth.
It's Taylor Sheridan or Tyler Sheridan?
I thought it was Tyler.
Okay, maybe it's Tyler Sheridan. I'm not sure. He decided to take his really, really dumb, Billy Bob's really, really dumb daughter and send her to college. Okay, he decided to do Legally Blonde.
It's
with
Taylor.
Her.
Taylor
it's
Sheridan. You're
Taylor
right.
Sheridan, and he decided to have his Legally Blonde episode. She arrives at the dorm, and there is another character there.
This is where Taylor shows his bias.
Oh my God!
Because we walk in, and our girl is like blonde and barely clothed, and then she's
a cheerleader, and she's vapid would be a word I would use.
She's meeting her roommate who is like got like a haircut like me, like a boy cut. She's like all in neutral tones.
Like the first thing she says is, "What are your pronouns?" And oh God.
And then our girl, Billy Bob.
I don't understand why we have to say they. When you're not a they, why do I speak to you in that person? Oh God. I mean, first of all, like she would even know what that even meant.
It's like the first intelligent thing she's ever said. I'll give her that.
Right. And then
they pile on.
The way they just
the
thing upon thing. Oh, I don't want you to eat meat in here.
I don't want you wearing leather boots.
Don't wear leather boots.
I hate music.
I hate music.
Here's my
Who
ferret.
the fuck hates music.
Oh, and I meditate at noon every day. And
this is my safe space, and you're invading my safe space.
Like, if somebody creates that kind of character and then they say, oh, it's based on somebody in real life or something. Yeah, but it wouldn't happen all in 3 minutes.
It wouldn't be all of those things.
Yeah, it would happen.
Well, yeah. Taylor would be like, well, yeah, I've heard stories of all of this before. Not all together. No, you can't put all that together. I was hoping, she's going to grow. Her character's going to grow. She's going to learn how to live with her roommate.
The next time we see this character, she's going to be in a flannel shirt and baggy pants. No growth. No growth. No learning. The Billy Bob Thornton's house where all these other dudes live also.
Yeah.
There's this one older man.
Oh, God.
Who's been ogling the daughter.
Just leering
since
all the time.
The first episode of season 1, he's been ogling this girl. And finally she's gone off to college and I don't have to see that anymore.
That's right. But he's been doing it like, this is making me really uncomfortable to continue to look at your ass. Oh, I don't know. Maybe don't look at her ass. What about that?
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe
it's like, I don't know what to do. Her ass is right there.
You've lived with her for years.
Exactly. You probably saw her in diapers.
And honestly, it makes like women don't need to speak up about that. Men should.
It's just no.
Men should say, don't show us in that light.
It just bothers me so much when somebody is like, well, what are you supposed to do? I'm a man. I can't control myself. Where my eyes go, where my dick goes, I can't do nothing about that.
If it's a female ass, it don't matter who it is. If I were a man, stupid. I would be offended.
Absolutely.
And there are scenes, there are characters, there are episodes that I love that Taylor has written.
Oh, sure.
I
1923 was a great series.
I think
except for the really, really depraved sex.
Well, I think he's really good.
Yeah.
But if he could kind of get out of his own way a bit.
Well, he has such an agenda sometimes.
This week we were having interviews for interns we're taking on with a documentary I work on.
How did that go?
It went really good, and we had a really big response from several really great colleges, and all women.
Okay.
Who are different varying years of completion of college, all interested in the topic, of our documentary. And at the beginning we were introducing ourselves, and I was on the spot, but I like what I said. I said, I'm a wife of 22 years. I have no children, but I have a lot of creative babies.
Nice. I like that.
So
that's great. That's a great way to put it.
I kind of mention you.
Well, that's it. There are trade-offs.
Mm-hmm.
There are trade-offs, and there's, you and I have talked about the fact that there's no way we could have made 21 films if we had a kid.
Well, I think you could. It would look different, and the lifestyle, we kind of value different things other than just having kids. Because hey, if we would have wanted to, we could have totally adopted.
I'm not discounting
fostered
having kids, man. I mean, it's okay.
At this point in my life,
I'm sure there are people.
I don't even want to be a dog owner anymore. I don't want any responsibilities.
I've considered fostering. I've considered that. Yeah, or maybe not doing that. Maybe being a big brother. I was thinking of that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I was
you would
thinking
be
that
such a great big brother.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, I do feel like we have relationships in our lives where we're able to be more parental, be more of a mentor.
Right. I want to talk a little bit about sort of our perception of things. And you get a perception of something. I learned this week that I've been saying Amanda Seyfried's name wrong my entire life. I don't know if I've been together with how long I've known about Amanda Seyfried. Where does she go back to? Mean Girls, or even back further than that?
The first time I remember her was on that United States of Terror.
Oh, okay. That was a good show.
It's the first time I really noticed her.
That's right. And this week, I learned that I've been mispronouncing her name.
Oh, no.
And this drives me crazy because I found out that I'd been mispronouncing Martin Scorsese's name, which is now Martin Scorsese. And why don't these people let people know at the beginning of their career, you're mispronouncing my name?
We didn't know the difference between Tyler and Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's just us being dumb.
Okay.
I mean, it's spelled right.
Tyler and Taylor are two different things.
No. What I'm saying is if you saw it, you would be able to say it. These are names that we have been mispronouncing by their phonetic spellings.
I get that, but also they're a household name. Like, who cares?
Well, I understand that. But at some point in their career, they're saying, okay, fuck it. I'm going to tell people how to say my name.
Yeah.
Say my name, say my name.
Well, I mean, we get called cringe a lot.
Yes, but we correct people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never just go, yeah, that's me. I'm
no,
cringe.
You say,
I'm Mr. Cringe.
You say, if my last name was Cringe, I'd change it.
I would.
But the thing is, I don't understand why people say cringe.
I don't understand
it. Has no E.
It has no E, and I know. It's just dumb. I get people who say crane. Okay? Fine.
Crane?
Okay. Yeah, crane.
No, I don't. If you look at it, it's C with a ring.
I understand.
Ring.
It is exactly the way it looks. It's ring with a C in front of it. That's what I tell people.
Both marriages have had fucked up last names. And in the current climate, I would suggest women not change their name.
It's a good point.
Because in order for your name to match your birth certificate, I think it's better if you keep your name.
They're coming after it. They're coming after your
Well, they're targeting us with real ID. I found our marriage decree and I found things so I can get my real ID because I just use my passport now. I have to get a divorce decree and then you got to pay for it. You got to wait on it. As a woman, I have to get all this shit together. And I think as a dude, you just get to show up.
This is true. We were watching music videos on Pluto and, which is really the only place you can get music videos now.
Well, we do that when we're working.
Yeah,
just throw some music on.
Music is on, and there's something on the screen and stuff. And it was a 70s channel, and Night Fever came on. Bee Gees, love it, but it was closed captioned, and I finally saw the lyrics to Night Fever.
I did not know the lyrics.
Never. That's all I knew. I mean.
I had no idea.
Just the only time I know it is just when it gets to Night Fever.
We got into a fight yesterday, and you said something that really, really hurt my feelings.
Yes, I know, and you cried, and it made me feel really bad.
But I told you, makes me very angry.
Right.
I'm very angry at you. I will not be angry at you,
right.
And I do not forgive you.
I do not forgive you,
and
is what you said.
I don't want you to apologize because I will not forgive you. This is
All
something
right.
I'm going to be mad about for a while.
Sorry, folks.
Okay, so later I was alone and I was thinking about it and I was like, well, what caused me to have such a strong reaction to that? Why was I so hurt? And it's honestly, it's an insecurity I have that you were holding a mirror up to. Because Buddhism, the mirrors, we're a mirror of each other. And when we attack, we're attacking the thing that is getting mirrored at us. You were mirroring back to me my own insecurity. So I came to you later and I was like, look, that was a mirror you were holding up to me. I needed to face my feelings about that in myself. Parts of it I like, parts of it I don't like. And that's why, and I do forgive you.
And I really appreciated you doing that and you calling me about that because I felt bad and I was still in the wrong in that situation. What you said about your reaction to it was an unresolved conflict between us.
Yeah, well, I was making it unresolved. So then, okay, you've done the work, right? does that continue to bother you? Right?
Mhm.
And you're like, yes, it continues to bother me. So then you go back in and you're like digging around and you're like, oh, it's because of this and I'm still holding this against myself or whatever. So you find, and then this thing is still bothering you. Let's say it really was just bad. It was awful.
Right.
And if you feel bad about it and you don't want to be in the situation anymore, there's no more looking to do. I don't think you have to keep harboring anything against yourself. I think, at that point, it's like, do I have anything to resolve in this situation? Or is it just a shit situation and I don't want to be around in it?
I have a weird analogy, and I don't know if this applies or not. But let's say you're washing your favorite shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and you make a mistake.
Is this a confession? Have you done something?
No,
to my
I've not
shirt?
done anything. Okay, so you're washing your favorite shirt, and then you leave something red in the washer.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
it dyes it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you could say you ruined that shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and you
But
could throw
it's
that shirt away.
Just
But
a little pink now.
it's just a little pink now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life does to us,
Mm-hmm.
is it dyes us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It affects us. And can we learn to love the little bit of pink? Or
Right.
are we always going to be like trying to wash out that shirt or,
I
bleach
will.
it? Or, well, I understand, but there is an acceptance that has to come
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I like it a little pink. Things change you. There are moments like, for me, reading Edgar Allan Poe,
Mm-hmm.
or listening to Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
It's always, something artistic. And after that, it's like your mind has just been like an entire new level has been created.
Sometimes when you're in school and there's like maybe is a quiet, normal kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after summer break and you come back next year,
Yep,
they're like head to toe goth,
What
spiky
happened?
black hair,
exactly.
black nail polish, chains,
Straight up.
totally different friends.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh yeah, it's good to remember that you can, on some level, superficially or not,
Mm-hmm.
completely change.
There was an interview with Rob Reiner, rest in peace, sir. And he was talking about the 60s, and he wanted to make a movie about the 60s in a way that no one had really ever done it before. And he said, and I want to make it from my perspective of what I think the 60s were. And the interviewer said, well, what was it? He says, it was about Jesus. It was about the discovery of the philosophy of Jesus Christ by the hippies.
Right.
And when you think about that, everything that's happened since then has been a conservative response to that. The conservative mind was terrified by what happened in the 60s.
Well, so were the Pharisees.
Exactly. And so there was a backlash against colleges, against education, against, changing history.
Cultural revolution.
The Cultural Revolution, all of that.
And when I was in school in the 90s, late 80s and 90s, we were looking back at the 60s and like the whole grunge movement and kind of like everybody was going back hippie, right?
Absolutely.
And that was the cool thing.
Well, that's what Kurt Cobain was. Kurt Cobain was a hippie, man.
But kids now are going back to the year 2000. And I just don't know if there's anything there for them.
Not really. The version of Christianity today is so anti-Jesus. I can't even talk about it.
There are some things about Catholicism that I actually really like, and I would love to have a rosary because I have this
Rosaries are cool.
No, this on my glasses.
Right.
And I like thumb through the beads, and that's like what you do with a rosary. And I'm like, I would really like to have a rosary.
Well, like
a beaded necklace like this.
Well, like Dave Navarro and like
I don't want to.
Ozzy Osbourne wears the crosses.
I don't
want to
appropriate their religion.
Oh, it's not appropriating.
It is really pretty.
It is,
and it's like kind of like a fidget toy.
It is.
But I also like genuflecting.
The Catholics are the first fidget spinners.
But I also appreciate genuflecting, like an outward observance of something.
Yeah, a little bit of ritual, man. It's kind of fun.
But I do think it's healthy to have someone that you could go to confess the things that you are holding inside.
Absolutely.
That's actually really healthy. And we're supposed to confess our sins one to another.
That's true.
You know?
Confess your sins one to another that you may be healed.
Yeah. I don't think it has to be a priest.
That's a beautiful thing to say.
Anything that gives you a moment of inspiration and introspection,
right?
Like whatever that is, it doesn't even have to have any sort of religious undertone. Like it can be whatever.
I like what John Lennon said, whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.